Welcome to 30 Minute Reviews. I'm Adam.
I'm Josie.
Okay.
And I'm
um, I forgot what I was going to say. Um,
ah,
yep, we're off to a great start this week. Off to the races.
that's on you.
Yeah, that's entirely on me.
I just introduced myself.
I was just completely caught off guard by that. 'Cause it's not like usual where you just delay for like a minute and a half while we wait for them to start talking. But yeah, what do we have going on this week? Comic-Con just happened. This is going to be a big Comic-Con.
Comic-Con's a little bit annoying. Just real
because there's
fast.
no comics at all.
Yeah, I feel just like random TV shows are there. So
I understand. iZombie wasn't there this year because iZombie ended, but that's based on a comic. I understand the Flash being there and Arrow and all that because they're based on comics. I understand Marvel and DC showing up because they're studios that are based on comics. My question is, did you look at the program by any chance?
No, but I saw some things where I was like, why the fuck is that plate thing there?
All of the Hall H things are all movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all just random movies and random TV shows.
Why was there a Netflix? Why was Nintendo there?
That's a good point.
Why was Netflix there showing off, what's his name's new movie? Max Landis' new movie. Why did we get a trailer for... There was something else really weird that we got a trailer for that was a Netflix original series. Stranger Things. That's not a comic thing. It's not even influenced by comics.
Yeah,
it's influenced
that's
by...
the one. That's the one, Stranger Things. So I was like, why are they at Comic-Con?
It's not influenced by comics. It's not...
Comic-Con?
Exactly. It's not in any way. It's based on 80s monster movies. Why is it at Comic-Con? Because Comic-Con isn't about comics anymore. It's about, everything. So, Doctor Who was there because they announced the 13th Doctor will be a woman, and shit went down, is the best way to put what happened.
Yes, both sides were extremely annoying.
Because the thing is, too, when it was announced, I saw a lot of people complaining about it being a female doctor. But I didn't actually see anyone complaining. Apparently, all the complaining came from Britain, which is why I didn't see any of it, because I'm American.
Yeah, I saw some of it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
The people, complain... no one I follow, but people taking screenshots of people complaining. But even before it was announced, the other side was complaining that the women will never be Doctor Who. Yeah.
Then it was announced, and I was no.
But then the people complaining were like, "You've destroyed my childhood. How dare a woman be Doctor Who?"
It's like the Ghostbusters thing all over again. What you liked is still intact. You can go back and watch that again. This in no way retroactively makes what you originally liked bad. What it does do is it opens up, what is this show going to do now that it has a woman in the lead role? That's the question that I'm asking. What are you going to... is this just a gimmick to market to get headlines? Because let's be honest, they couldn't do what they did last time when they announced Peter Capaldi, and they did a special on BBC for an hour and a half, who's going to be the next Doctor, because it doesn't have that pull anymore.
Wasn't Peter Capaldi seasons not good? Did no one like it?
This is my opinion. I hated the Matt Smith years. Hated them. Because it wasn't about... it made the Doctor into a god, basically. He's basically a chaos god during all three of the Matt Smith seasons. And I hated the direction the show went under Stephen Moffat as a whole. And not for the complaints that you hear on the internet. My biggest complaints are he's not a good storyteller. And I saw someone, it was a Tumblr blog said this, and it's probably the best way to say what he does. He writes moments. He doesn't write stories. So what happens is he will come up with a really good moment, and that'll be great, but how you get to that moment and what happens after it suck. And you watch Sherlock, so you can see that in Sherlock, too.
Yes, I haven't watched the last season of Sherlock, but the Christmas special of Sherlock pissed me off extremely.
And he got a weird obsession with Victorian England. Like, there's way too many episodes of Doctor Who that take place in Victorian England. But, like, I think this is going to be an interesting way to go going forward. It's not going to make me start watching the show again. Because, like, I stopped watching after I watched the finale of season 8 was the last time I watched. But I like Peter Capaldi because he was interesting. But then, like, I guess I could. But the thing is, it's like you can tell in the show that he's patting himself on the back for how clever he is. And I'm talking about Stephen Moffat, not the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You can he can tell. It's like, look at how smart I am. It's like it comes through in the script. Like it's annoying. But then, like, every character, like, Rose wasn't anyone special. She didn't have some cosmic purpose going forward. She was just a girl. Same thing with Mickey. But, like, Clara, who was the companion prior to the current one, Bill, she was like, she jumped into the Doctor's time stream and memories, and some weird time travel shenanigans happened. And she was the one, like, she influenced his life through the entire thing. And that's the other thing you can really tell, is that he was a huge fanboy growing up, Moffat, and he influenced the lore of if I were mad about anything about the show, it'd be that, not the fact that they cast a female Doctor. Because if you want to say he ruined something, he ruined the continuity of the show. Because, like, under his watch, here's some things that changed. Number one, he didn't steal the TARDIS like he did in the original show. Clara guided him to it and said, take this one. They changed his regeneration count by counting Metacrisis from the finale of Season 3, I think it was, and introducing another Doctor that was just there for no reason. When you really didn't have to do that, you could just have McGann be the one and just go right to Eccleston. He doubled the Doctor's age to 1,800 years over the course of one episode, just to give Matt Smith a moment when he regenerates. And he turns he makes a myth of the world, like, centered around the Doctor, when the Doctor was never really like that prior. Like, the only people who knew about him were people who interacted with him. Now there's like a myth, and he's in the center of it. And that's the whole arc with the Pandorica. And there's the whole, don't even get me started on the stupidity with River Song and her being the descendants of two of his companions who just so happen to be fucking. Like, the whole thing was stupid. Like, that's what you should get mad about, the fact that they let that go on for so long. Like, he was the showrunner of the show for 5 years. Like, seasons 5 through 10, he was showrunner, and no one said boo about that. That's the problem, not the fact there's a woman Doctor now. But yeah, but they were at Comic-Con too for some reason. Going back to that. I did not watch any of the sizzle reels for the CW shows. I want to go into that a little bit surprised. But how surprised can we be? Like, season 3 of The Flash, spoilers, ended with Barry getting sucked into the Speed Force and being put into a Speed Force prison. And it's like, oh no, what's going to happen? Is he going to escape? Like, yeah, no shit, he's going to escape. So I didn't watch any of those sizzle reels. Isis is going to be on Legends of Tomorrow, as is Billy Zane. When I say ISIS, I don't mean the Middle East, the Islamic State. I mean the DC Comics character ISIS, who will probably not be using the name for obvious reasons. They're adding the elongated man to Flash, but they haven't cast him yet. They are going to have the Thinker as the villain for season 4 of the Flash. Arrow, I don't care, because when I read the things that they announced for Arrow, and the first thing was Oliver and Felicity get back together, I was like, and I can completely skip this season. So, congratulations there, CW. Legends of Tomorrow is going to also add in Billy Zane playing P.T. Barnum.
I'm a big Bill. I wish Billy Zane was in more stuff.
Yeah, he's actually going to be acting opposite, what's his name again? Oh my god, what's the guy's name? The guy who plays Stein on Legends of Tomorrow. He was also in Titanic. He was the captain of the ship. Not the captain, the designer of the ship. You know who I'm talking about?
Billy Zane in Twin Peaks. Yup.
Okay. And then what else was there? Supergirl has something happening. They're actually using Supergirl's villains for a change and not just reappropriating Superman's villains and Supergirl villains. So that's nice. I think that's really all we can say about that. I didn't watch the Stranger Things trailer. I still haven't watched season 1 of Stranger Things. So you watched it, though, I assume, right?
Stranger Things trailer?
Yeah.
Yes, it was good. It was this is the second, I guess, trail. This is the first big trailer. There was the teaser, just like to announce
that they are getting a second season. That one for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, I think when Stranger Things premiered, it was the fastest show ever on Netflix to get a season 2 announcement.
Oh.
I think it was like within a week or something, like, or within days after it premiered, it was already given a season 2. They knew what they had, and it was really. I recommend it. It's very good. This trailer was very good, because the season 1 it completed its story, but it ended where it could continue easily, which I like. And so it kind of confirmed that, and what the characters are doing. It kind of spoiled something that I wish they waited until, because the Waffle Girl sort of disappears in the first season, but then it's already shown her like where she is and that she's probably going to come back. Over where in the first movie / season, the one guy is just not in it, and now he's in it, so now it feels weird. Westworld. Westworld is another thing that should not have been at Comic-Con.
Yes, that I agree with that. Westworld's gonna, and even I'm gonna say this. I don't know if they were there. I feel like they weren't, because they just premiered like 2 weeks ago. Game of Thrones should not be at Comic-Con either. Yeah, I agree.
It's
Comic-Con. If I'm going to Comic-Con, I don't want to see Kit Harington on stage. I want to see like Frank Miller, who, by the way, announced he's doing Superman Year 1. So that'll be an interesting comic.
I've actually been watching Game of Thrones as it's like premiered.
I have not.
I think I should get some award for that. But that was terrifying. You're like, when you laughed, it slowed down. And it was like, ha 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 ha. Like, it was really creepy. But the season premiere of Game of Thrones 2 weeks ago, it was a good season premiere, but I also believe it was the worst episode of Game of Thrones by far in the history of Game of Thrones.
That's what I heard too. A lot of people were not happy about that new episode.
Do you know why? It's only because of one part.
No, what happened?
Okay, I will set the scene for you.
Yeah,
that was Arya.
Spoiling Game of Thrones here, by the way. So if you haven't watched
it will not. It will spoil one thing a little bit, but most of all, not. It's not going to spoil anything important.
Okay.
This scene has no importance at all. Also, that's one of the reasons why it's so stupid. But this is the only spoiler part. Arya is now in Westeros, so she's back in Westeros.
Okay.
Like the main country.
Yeah.
She was basically in Africa, like the equivalent of Africa, and now she's back in America. You can just say it like that.
There we go.
Because she had to cross the ocean. So she's walking through the woods, and then she sees there's like a group of soldiers around the fireplace. So then it's Game of Thrones, and I'm like, oh, she's probably going to get raped. That's like where your mind goes to. Or some shit's about to happen. And they're like singing a song. And she's like too close to them for her just to run away. So she like kind of goes up to them. And then there's one guy singing. And it zooms in on him. And it's Ed Sheeran. And he just continues singing. While it's just like a close-up of Ed Sheeran singing. Then Arya gets off and she's like, wow, that's a good song. Then it like zooms in like that his whole face is just a screen. And he's literally, not literally, but basically staring straight into the camera and says, it's a new one.
Oh my god.
And then I wanted to shoot myself in the face. And then everyone on... This is right after... That's when I didn't feel bad, and Ed Sheeran got bullied off of Twitter. And I was like, you fucking troll. Like, get the fuck out of Game of Thrones, you piece of shit. Like, this has angered me beyond belief.
Yeah, that's... Apparently the Game of Thrones is ending, like, next year or the year after? I don't remember which. It's one of those two.
Yeah, this is the second to last season.
Oh, okay.
The penultimate season.
Okay, so they gotta start cranking shit into gear then to, get to...
Oh yeah, that's something else. The episode from this week, it was a very good episode, but something that's pissing me off, they like an hour going into subplots with very minor service characters, like Daenerys. She's her slave, but they don't call her a slave. She apparently freed her, but I don't see her getting paid.
Oh, okay.
So her servant, and then her eunuch servant are like having a relationship now, and it doesn't matter. Well, no, it does not matter. And now I have to fucking watch that. And I was like, "Where the fuck are you doing? Like, show me other characters like
Dragons
doing shit.
fighting.
I don't need new characters." Also, I'm gonna predict it now. At least one dragon will die this season.
Really?
I'm gonna call it. I'm calling it now, and that's not in the books. So this is me watching the show making predictions. I'm not like, oh, I bet this is gonna happen. I've like already read it.
Wink.
Yeah. Cersei is one of my favorite characters because she blew up the church. That was really cool, and I like her.
It was like at work. One of the guys I work with bets on WWE.
Huh.
I'm like, do you bet on Game of Thrones?
You don't. It would be the same thing as betting on Game of Thrones.
It's the same integrity level as betting on, and there are Vegas odds on people living and dying through the season that are updated week to week. It's still stupid though.
Yeah, I would never bet on Game of Thrones.
But then,
and also the fan base is kind of annoying. Just how obsessed they are. It is the only show where it's weird. Where during the off season, I just talk about how I don't really like it that much, but then once I start watching it again, I'm like, oh fuck yeah! Like, I love this show.
It's not like House of Cards where it's always good or something like that. I think if we're going annoying fan base, like last week we talked about cringy fan bases, I think annoying fan bases could also be Rick and Morty.
Yes, yeah, Rick and Morty, yeah, they're not cringy, but they are annoying.
I think it's more like if you have a subreddit devoted to it or multiple subreddits devoted to it. That's basically the rule of thumb. You can.
Yeah, I wish the House of Cards subreddit was more annoying. Because I would read the shit out of that. The House of Cards subreddit is very boring.
Oh, okay. It's like what's it called? The the Kingdom Hearts subreddit dies like right after every game comes out. But no one's talking about it. Did we get we didn't do an episode between D23 and here, did we?
I don't know, but I have some breaking news.
What?
That it might be hard to hear, but it's a fact.
Oh no.
Finland is not a real country. I know this is hard to hear.
Okay, wait. Take about 7 steps back.
I'm not saying that people from Finland are not real, but they just don't. They actually live in eastern Sweden and have been lied to their whole life.
Okay. How?
Okay. Around World War One, Russia and Japan created the fake country that we know as Finland, so they can illegally fish in the waters off of Russia without anyone talking about it. And then it just kind of went from there, and all other countries know about it. And that's why it's a model country. Because if you look at all the country figures, Finland is number one in every single good thing.
Right.
So it's what all countries should strive to be, is Finland.
Oh. I feel like we unveiled a conspiracy theory here.
Yeah, and the weirdest part is, so the Finland's biggest country is Nokia.
Company?
The cell phone company. Yeah. And guess what country is the number one importer of Nokia products?
Japan.
Yeah, Japan.
Boom.
And that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Because they have they have actual companies.
Yeah, think about how many tech companies Japan has. I sent you a map.
Yeah, I know. I saw the Google link that you didn't use a truncated link for. Oh, it's Vice. Okay. Dude accidentally convinced the internet. No, it's the...
We don't need to read that part of the link.
You don't have to read the headline.
That's not important, but their map is accurate. There's a whole subreddit devoted to it. That's what reminded me of it.
So I see that map is.
People need to wake up.
Yeah, we gotta make people.
I decided to. I woke my undergrads that I TA for in quiz section.
Mm-hmm. The article right under it is: does the Babysitters Club actually suck?
Maybe it does. These are good questions we all need to ask.
I also like.
I have another one I found out. This one I have less evidence for, but it could be true.
Oh no.
The sun isn't actually hot.
Okay, this is odd. What is it?
Okay, ready?
How does theory work?
Why is space cold?
Because of the distance between particles.
Then how is the Earth warm? Not from the sun.
Yes, from the sun.
Then why is Mount Everest cold if it's closer to the sun?
No,
it's all from the magma.
No, it's not from the magma.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. What planets are cold? The ones without molten cores.
Is there any actual scientific lead into this, or is it like?
No, I just thought it was a fun thing I think it's something we need to talk about.
You're going up against all of established science for the last several hundred years.
They've never been to the sun.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's send the crew to the sun at night, so that way they can go over and see how hot it is. Okay.
Perfect.
Sounds like a plan. So yeah. So what else was there? So we did not talk about D23. We did not have an episode where we talked about that. I just realized. We missed a week, so that's why we don't have a D23 episode. We can briefly touch on D23 is always a closed event for all of that because all of the panels and stuff are basically press. And,
where do they hold it?
It's in Anaheim at the convention center in Anaheim, and they do it the week before Comic-Con. So that way you go over, you do Disney's thing, and then you go to San Diego, which is not excessively far, and then you can go to Comic-Con and see the same fucking trailer again. So they unveiled the first footage of Infinity War. They showed off a bunch of posters. They had a panel of the entire cast. By the way, Infinity War Part 2 starts filming next week. That was announced yesterday. Yeah, that's really all they did. And then they inducted Stan Lee and Mark Hamill into the Hall of Fame for Disney.
That's weird.
Yeah, and there was something else they did. The D23 was cool when it happens, and then Comic-Con comes next week, and then DC's like, oh yeah, we got stuff too, and then you're like, oh okay, so you're not the only ones doing anything. So for Marvel, we got a trailer for Thor Ragnarok, which is moderately it's good. It looks good.
Yes.
According to Taika Waititi, who's the director, he said 50% of the film is improvised. So that's cool.
I don't know. That does not make me want to see it.
Do you know what the last Marvel movie that was mostly improvised was?
What?
Iron Man.
Oh, that surprises me.
Iron Man did not have much of a script when they made the movie. The new Justice League trailer.
But I feel like Robert Downey Jr. is a stronger actor
than Chris Hemsworth or Mark Ruffalo or Tessa Thompson.
The whole.
Tessa Thompson, we actually heard her do a British accent, so that's interesting. Why she had to do a British accent is beyond me. She's
in Westworld. Oh yeah, the Westworld trailer was very good too.
I didn't watch it. I still haven't seen Westworld the first season to.
It's amazing.
The Disaster Artist trailer is hilarious.
Which one is that?
That's the movie about how they made The Room. It's like James Franco and
Oh
Seth Rogen.
yes, that's when he takes them do that.
The scene of him coming out onto the roof.
Oh, hi Mark. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there was there's not much to talk about with the Thor trailer. They didn't really show anything. It's not like the second trailer for Civil War, where it's like Spider-Man shows up, or like the second trailer for Batman v Superman, where what's it called shows up, where Doomsday shows up, or anything like, or the third trailer for X-Men Apocalypse, where Wolverine shows up. It's just kind of a second trailer. Like, okay, we're gonna see his hammer get destroyed again, and he's gonna fight. They're gonna fight. What's his name? Oh my god, I'm forgetting the name of the bad guy at the end. It's not Scourge. Scourge is who Carl Urban's playing. It'll come to me by the time we get to the end of this. I think the one that has more to talk about is the Justice League trailer.
Yes.
That looked a lot better.
I enjoyed it.
The humor in it seems less forced than the first two trailers. So I'll give him that.
I like the part where the Flash gets left behind.
Yeah.
I like the part where the Flash is just like, I don't actually fight people, I just push them and then disappear.
Yeah. I think for characterization they mixed up Wally West with Barry Allen, but I mean, okay, I guess they can do that. I like how Steppenwolf says there are no Asgardians, there are no Kryptonians and no Lanterns. Like, Aquaman is not as strong, if not stronger, than Superman. Without the kryptonite weakness, and how they don't have literal descendants of Greek gods.
Alert.
About what?
Spoiler alert.
For what?
If you go to the IMDb cast page,
yeah, Henry Cavill's there. Yeah, and no one thought Henry Cavill
is cast as Superman.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Great. They're making
Will
Justice
Superman
League.
Be in the Justice League movie?
Yes, he is. He's in all the marketing materials too. He was on the panel for Justice League. Like, the only person they were fooling are like 6-year-olds when they said like, "Oh, is he going to be in this movie?" Like, no, he's actually going to be in the movie.
Willem Dafoe is in this movie.
Yes, he's playing the mentor to Aquaman in Atlantis.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Volko, he's playing. Mara's in it.
There are.
I'm gonna leave my joke.
There are a
with
lot of
myself.
people.
Yeah, well, it's a team up movie, and they have to introduce a lot of characters. For some reason, Henry Allen's in the movie. For some reason, Lois Lane's in the movie. That's what people want to see in a team up movie. It's Lois Lane. Well, to be fair,
it's like how
Gwyneth Paltrow was in the Avengers. So
Amy Adams solved the mystery. She was the investigator.
Amy Adams actually should, like, Lois Lane is more of a character than Pepper is, so I'll give them that.
Many say that Lois Lane is a better detective than Batman.
Well, she does more detective work in Batman v Superman than Batman does.
So yeah, she solves that it's because he's trying to find the white Portuguese man or whatever.
No, the thing is, he always knew the white Portuguese was the ship, and it wasn't actually a person. He always knew that was the case. He was just using that to trick Alfred, because Alfred's an idiot, I guess. I like the penguin reference in it. It's like Gone are the Days. The only thing we had to deal with were wind up exploding penguins.
Who do you think was talking to Alfred at the end of the trailer?
Well, there are two theories.
I think the obvious one is Superman.
Right, the obvious is Superman. The not so obvious, well, I mean, it's still kind of obvious, because you can see the reflection in Alfred's glasses.
The Joker.
No. The Green Lantern.
But he made it sound like he knows him, so that's why.
Well, the thing he says like, he said you'd be here. Let's hope you're not too late. And people he said like, let's hope you're not too late. Like, what are the characters as affiliated with Hope? That's not a Blue Lantern as Superman. But there's also a Supergirl reference in the movie, so that's also a theory people are throwing around. because that hologram he's looking at is not Superman. Because the person it's a woman in the hologram. The Kryptonian in the hologram is a woman.
Ah.
So the theory is that it's Supergirl, and that's the one that he's expecting to come. Which I could see that happening because I think there was someone cast in the movie as Black Canary. But we haven't actually seen Black Canary anywhere in this movie. Besides that, they say Black Canary is in this movie somewhere. You were on the IMDb page, so did you see that anywhere on there?
All right, I was looking at Winona Ryder through the years.
What was it? Justice League. I want to say it was. Oh my God, there was definitely someone cast to play Black Canary. Not Morena Baccarin. That was from the old thing. I could have. Maybe it was Catherine Winnick from what's it called? No, Catherine Winnick said she wanted to be it.
There's an Arkham Asylum scene.
Arkham Asylum scene? Yeah, that's because Lex Luthor's in it.
Because someone's cast as Arkham Guard.
Yeah, this is an
There's
old
gonna
article.
be a Gotham. There's going to be a scene at the Gotham City football stadium.
Yeah, that was in the trailer though. Yeah, this is from last April, so I don't think we can use this article to be accurate because it also says Green Arrow is going to be in the movie. So I don't think that they say Stephen Amell is being vetted to be in the movie, and he would be the only member of the CW shows to join into the movies. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's stupid. That would have been really stupid if they went with that and only had Stephen Amell come in. I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they weren't going to have Black Canary in, and they didn't cast someone extra. But whatever. I do think it's Green Lantern. I'm going to be honest, because there's no reason to say there's no lanterns guarding the planet earlier in the trailer. Like, no Kryptonians. We know Superman's going to be there. There have been set pictures of Superman. You can't have a Justice League movie without Superman, so we know Superman's going to be there. But why would you bring up the no lanterns?
But he's dead.
Okay. Why would you bring up the fact that there are no lanterns? Unless it's like...
There aren't any lanterns. Well, is the Penguin going to be in the movie?
No, but that's different. Like, the Penguin is something like... We know that's part of Batman's rogue gallery. Like,
what if the Justice League has to fight just the Penguin this entire movie?
That'd be hilarious. It would be a waste of like 90% of the Justice League. Batman can do it himself. I don't see why the Flash is going to do. I should do it faster. What are you doing?
What?
Like, your whole thing is... Did you, like, move?
No. Why?
No, never mind. I guess... Oh, your voice resunk. Okay.
Cool.
And then they also announced Wonder Woman 2 is actually happening. No surprise
She's
there.
billed first on IMDb.
She's what?
Billed first on IMDb. Gal Gadot.
It goes based on traffic to their thing, so yeah, that makes sense.
Robin Wright is second.
Yep, Robin Wright will be reprising her role in Justice League. You have not seen Wonder Woman yet, right?
Nope.
Okay, so then there is they are also announced the name of the Flash movie. This pissed me off a little bit. As Peter can attest.
The Flashpoint?
Yes. The Flash movie that they're going out of the gate is Flashpoint. The Flashpoint Paradox. They are adapting the Flashpoint Paradox, the event comic that rebooted the DC Universe, into the New 52. They're turning that into the first Flash movie.
That makes sense.
Now, I don't know if we talked about it before Batman v Superman came out, or just after Batman v Superman came out, but I've definitely said this before. One of my bigger issues with Batman v Superman is that it tries to play and adapt comics that worked well as comics because of the significance they had to comics history. This is Superman's second movie, so having the death of Superman in the comics, Superman had never died previously, especially in battle. So it was a big deal that Superman died to Doomsday in the comics in the 90s. So that's why that was a big deal there. It was the first time that ever happened, and there was really no sign of him resurrecting. And then the entire DC universe had to cope with the fact that Superman was dead. So doing that as your second Superman movie is a little bit ridiculous. The Dark Knight Returns works because it shows two people that you always liked as DC heroes fighting each other. Like, maybe not for the first time, but in a deep for like not for like a play fight or like to trick someone, or they're actually fighting.
Yeah.
And doing that as your first Batman movie is a little bit stupid. Flashpoint works because it's a culmination of a lot of Barry Allen's character arcs, where it's like he knows what Eobard Thawne did to his mother. He knows everything Eobard Thawne has done throughout his life to make his life miserable. So him taking the steps and going back in time and resetting the entire timeline by saving his mother's life from being killed by Eobard Thawne is a big deal. On top of that, when we get to the Flashpoint universe, the bad guys of the Flashpoint universe are Wonder Woman and Aquaman. And we get two versions of that. And then we see the descent into madness that Bruce takes as Batman, taken by his father instead, through losing his son and his wife. His wife doesn't actually die, his wife becomes the Joker.
Ooh.
So here's my problem with this movie. Our first Flash movie has Batman. It has the Joker. It has Wonder Woman and Aquaman. It has Mera, because Mera gets beheaded by Wonder Woman in that.
Yep.
And there's a lot going on. It's too much for one movie, especially when it's your first outing as the Flash, because there's a lot of things you need to know going into this that they aren't going to be able to cover in a 2-hour movie. Like, you need to know... Like, they need to establish between Justice League and this movie, before they go to Flashpoint, that Eobard Thawne and Barry are rivals, and they fought each other before. And that's the other thing, is this Justice League doesn't make it seem like he's done anything, the Flash. Which is weird, because he's fought Captain Boomerang in this universe. From Suicide Squad. Like, they make him seem very, very, like... What's the word I'm looking for? Like he's new. It makes him look like Spider-Man in Marvel. Where he's new to it, he hasn't actually done anything. So it's a little bit weird they're going to go at Flashpoint this early on. Like, all you had to do for this movie, DC, all you had to do was do... I would have had, if I were doing it, I would have had Eobard Thawne and then start setting up the Rogues. Or what they did in Season 1 of The Flash. Because then you can do the Rogues for a later movie. Maybe don't do Zoom for a second one. Hold off on... Or do Zoom for this movie, for fuck's sake. Like, who cares? Like, you can set up Eobard Thawne in the movie. You can, like... Or just make the Rogues the villains. Like, the Rogues, you don't need to... Like, that's the thing I don't understand about Marvel, is why they need to keep feeling they need to set up the Sinister Six before you do it. You can just say, like, here are all of Spider-Man's villains. Spider-Man's been active. Have a montage of him throwing them all in jail in the beginning of the movie, and then it's like, let's team up and kill this fucker. And then they fight. What more do you need? Mm. Like, that's what you had to do with Suicide Squad. Like, they didn't do that, though, and that's where it failed. And that's what it looks like they should have done here. They could have just had Barry round up all the Rogues, throw them all in jail, like, just do Mirror Master at the top, Captain Cold, Heatwave, and Abracadabra. Throw them all in jail, and then and then they get out, and then they all team up and fight the Flash. There you go. There's your movie.
Yes.
Flashpoint.
Or we can have a very complicated plot that is really hard to follow for someone that hasn't read the comics and has a little importance.
Well, no, but it's a team up of villains. It's not like... Do you need... They don't all need individual motivations, is what I'm saying, for this type of movie. Like, Sinister Six and the Rogues do not need a deep-seated... Each character has their own motivation. The motivation should be, let's just kill this fucker. That should be the entirety of it. And you illustrate why they have that motivation by having them all go into jail. They're not solo villains, where it's not like Captain Cold trying to rob a bank or something. Because like that's what a good amount of Flash's villains are. They're not like world-ending threats or anything like that. They just very much hate Barry Allen, or they just want to get money. Like they're just really stupid with how they use their powers because they can fuck the world up pretty badly. Let's be honest. So that's gonna be that's what I think they should do. But
yes.
like. I don't know. It's just further proof they're not learning from their mistakes over there. The Cyborg movie is still happening, although there are rumors it's going to be switched over to be a Titans movie, which we absolutely said they should do. And then what was the other thing that that they announced? Oh, Green Lantern Corps was announced. You may remember we talked about that 2 years ago when it was announced the first time.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. No news on casting yet. And with Marvel News, they had a bunch of casting stuff for Ant-Man and the Wasp because that starts production. Hope Van Dyne, who we only saw with a hat in front of her face and in costume in Ant-Man, is going to be played by Michelle Pfeiffer, formerly of Catwoman fame. Which means Danny DeVito is the only principal cast member of Batman Returns that has not been in the Marvel movie.
Nice.
Because we just had... Michael Keaton had a fantastic performance in Homecoming. They also announced Lawrence Fishburne will be playing Goliath in the movie. And then there were a few other casting things I don't remember because I don't remember the actors' names because they weren't big names. It's not like Lawrence Fishburne cast... Michelle Pfeiffer, and then like two people they're character actors who you'd recognize if you saw them. But like one of them's playing the Ghost, and one of them is playing someone else. Randall Park is going to be playing Jimmy Woo. Randall Park, who was on Fresh Off the Boat, and he was in that one episode of The Office, where he was Asian Jim.
Yeah, when he plays Jim, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be playing Agent Woo, who is a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent in the comics. And more importantly, because it tells us what they're going to be doing for Avengers 5, they gave us a bunch of details about Captain Marvel, which will be coming out in 2019. Number one, Captain Marvel will not be appearing in Infinity War. That's number one. Number two, Captain Marvel will be taking place in the 90s. Meaning it's the first... It's
weird.
It's the first Marvel movie to not take place in direct continuity with the...
I think the 90s are too close, where it's going to be more annoying than fun. Like the 80s, you can just do whatever you want.
Well, no, see, and my other reason, why would you pick to do the 90s? Because X-Men Dark Phoenix takes place in the 90s, and that comes out a few months earlier. Like, you're early enough in production, you could say, let's just set it back in the 70s or the 80s. And, I mean, even if you do either of those, you're going to get people saying, oh, it's like the X-Men. But, like, if you do the 90s, now people could say you ripped them off. Because we know that they're going to do Dark Phoenix in the 90s, and you're going to do this in the 90s. Like, and it's weird because of how closely tied the history of the X-Men and Captain Marvel are. Because Rogue gets her powers from taking the powers of Miss Marvel. It was Carol Danvers before she became Captain Marvel. The other thing we know is this movie is going to be doing... the villain is going to be the Skrulls. A villain set... an alien race who we thought belonged to Fox. Unfortunately, it turns out only Super Skrull belongs to Fox because of his relationship to the Fantastic Four. The rest of the Skrulls can be used by either company in much the same way Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch can. And there was one other weird thing with this. They announced that the storyline they're going to be adapting is the Kree-Skrull War.
Those words sound familiar.
Yeah, the Kree were Ronan the Accuser's race is the Kree.
That's it.
The Kree also, when they came to Earth, experimented on humans and created the Inhumans.
Cool.
And in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Kree technology is what's used to bring Coulson back to life after he's killed in the Avengers. So, they're probably not going to talk about any of that. The Inhumans trailer got laughed at in, in Hall H. That made me very happy.
Yeah, it seems like my Twitter was a buzz about just no one cares about it.
It looks awful. The movie is what happens when you let a guy who thinks he knows what's best continue doing what he wants with a blank check, and it just looks awful. This is Ike Perlmutter's big project with the Inhumans. And Kevin Feige was like, let's not do that, that's really stupid. And he's like, no, fuck you. And then Kevin Feige was like, no, fuck you, and went to, what's his name, over at Disney? Bob Iger at Disney, and went over Perlmutter's head. So out of spite, Perlmutter continued the project once they announced that it was not happening as a movie. Then the Inhumans became a TV show. It would not be acknowledging any of the Inhuman shenanigans they've been doing on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It would be standalone, and it would be the first ever IMAX-produced TV show.
That definitely sounds like it's worth the money.
All of these things are just awful, and the CG in the show looks terrible. That
will look even worse with the IMAX.
Yeah, like Lockjaw looks really bad. Medusa's hair looks awful. None of the actors can act, which thankfully I guess Black Bolt shuts his mouth the entire movie, so I guess that's good for us. Ramsey Bolton's the bad guy. It's gonna be awful. But what that tells us, going back to Captain Marvel, there are two real things that everyone knows the Skrulls for, besides Super Skrull, which they can't use. It's number one, the Kree-Skrull War, and number two, Secret Invasion, which was a comic where the Skrulls invaded Earth, but because they're shapeshifters, took the form of people, and it basically created civil war, but like with a good reason, because it was hero fighting hero, but it was really hero fighting Skrull posing as hero.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be what the fifth Avengers movie is going to be. It's going to be the Secret Invasion. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. And they showed the trailer from D23 for Infinity War again. And based on the description I read, it seems pretty amazing. Do you want me to read you some of the highlights? I don't think I said you want me to send it to you, and then you never replied, so I just didn't, because I had like 10 pages screenshotted. Let me take a look. This is going to be really good. Where's the beginning of this? Beginning's up here. So this is the most detailed version. It starts out in space. The Milano arrives at the ruins of a dead planet. Star-Lord addresses the... What?
Like the cookie?
No. Okay. Well, the Milano, the ship, Star-Lord's ship.
Like half black, half white people?
No. Okay. They tell him, he tells the team, put your mean faces on. Thor, with cropped hair and a gladiatorial armor, but no hammer, crashes into their windshield. And Rocket says, ew, wipe it off, wipe it off, wipe it off. So we're off on a good quippy note off the bat. Thor is brought inside and touched by Mantis, who jolts him awake. He finds himself surrounded by... You haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet, so this is a bit of a spoiler for you. Teenage Groot.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, in the in all of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, it's Baby Groot. Remember how he said, "Don't worry, guys, he won't be Baby Groot the entire movie"? Well, he was right. The fourth post-credit scene, he turned into teenage Groot. So he starts by... so Groot's there. Thor asks the Guardians who they are, and Thor is seen traveling with them, and they arrive at another dead planet and realize something is very wrong. Then Scarlet Witch says death follows him like a shadow. She runs through a ruined city and slices the truck in half. Loki walks through fiery ruins with his scepter in one hand and the Tesseract in the other, and hands the Tesseract to a towering figure who we don't know who it is. Peter Parker's riding a bus, and his spider sense alerts him to looming danger. Outside, a massive spaceship appears on the skyline, so it's good. We're getting... Anytime the Russos handle Spider-Man, he has a spider sense, but in fucking Homecoming, he doesn't. I don't know why in Homecoming he doesn't, but in, like, he has it in Civil War. Like, people were like, why doesn't he have a spider sense? But in Civil War, like, someone throws a car at him, and he's like, oh no, and, like, he has his back to it, he's like, oh no, and he runs away. Thor and the Guardians find the Collector's inventory ransacked and in ruins, and Gamora breaks down crying. Iron Man in full armor standing next to Mantis. His voice is heard. We only have one advantage. He's coming for us. The spaceship lands in a ravaged alien landscape as several members of the Avengers and Guardians look on. Fun is not something one considers when rebalancing the universe, of voice echoes, but it does put a smile on my face. The voice is revealed to be Josh Brolin's Thanos, and then warps in front of the heroes, wielding an unfinished Infinity Gauntlet and eyes a terrified but determined Gamora, while Star-Lord aims his gun and battle erupts. Doctor Strange creates energy platforms that Star-Lord leaps from in order to fire at Thanos. Spider-Man swings into battle using the Stark Tech armor that he previously rejected. Remember that fucking one that I said they were going to have? Because it's the armor that looks very similar to the post-Secret Wars black armor. I was right. This is just proving me more and more right every day. Black Widow on the run in civilian clothes with long blonde hair for some reason. Bruce Banner in a Sanctum Sanctorum with Doctor Strange and Wong for some reason. Why is Wong in this movie? Scarlet Witch visits the Vision, who was locked up in a cell, and they exchange knowing glances. Black Panther preparing the armies of Wakanda for battle. The Winter Soldier by his side. Also, the Winter Soldier will not be in Black Panther. Captain America steps out of the shadow in his sleek new suit with long hair, a beard, and no shield. So he'll be playing Nomad in this movie, not Captain America. And then Black Panther, the Winter Soldier, and the Dora Milaje, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that, battle a monstrous four-legged creature aided by Stark in the Hulk Buster armor, which makes me question, what are Black Panther and the Winter Soldier doing there?
That is a good question.
Like, why? Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to add to this? Then Thanos holds a powerless Thor's head in his hand like a grape and squeezes it hard while monologuing about the inevitability of fate. You can run from it, you can fight it, he says as he dismantles Iron Man's armor with one blow. Iron Man then cradles severely injured Spider-Man in his arms in the middle of a war-torn terrain, similar to the one from the end of from the scene in Age of Ultron. Mm-hmm. Remember his vision?
Yes. Where it's like they're all laid out and whatnot.
Yeah. Then Iron Man cradles a severely injured Spider-Man. I'm sorry, Tony, wishes Spider-Man as he sheds a tear. But in the end, Thanos concludes Destiny always comes. Thanos uses the incomplete Infinity Gauntlet, sporting only the Reality Stone, which is the Ether, which is the one from Thor the Dark World, and the Space Stone, which is the Tesseract, to hurl a moon toward the battlefield where the heroes are cornered. The moon shatters upon entering the planet's atmosphere, resulting in a rain of fire that washes over the planet in a manner very reminiscent of the apocalypse itself.
That makes sense.
So that's the trailer they put out. It is available online because at Comic-Con they're not quite as secure with people recording it on their cell phones as they are at D23. Yeah. You know, D23, the Disney Gestapo will like murder you if you so much as like look the wrong way at the camera while wearing glasses. But they're not quite as strict, which is how every time this happens, there's always a leak of the trailer. But unlike DC and Fox, Marvel doesn't put it out after it leaks online officially. Mm-hmm. Like, Suicide Squad leaked online. DC was like, well, fuck it. They put it online. And the same thing happened with Fox with X-Men
They're just
Apocalypse.
like, well, I guess you should at least watch a good quality version of it.
Yeah, watch a quality version of it. We can get ad credit on it. Like, but Disney is not Disney will eventually release a full version of it once it gets known enough that it's out there. So if you tell people that there is an online version of it somewhere, maybe it'll get posted online. So that'll be our big movement we're starting this week. Tell everyone you know that somewhere online, yeah, there is a version of the Infinity War trailer that they can, if they seek it out, they can find it. I saw a Tumblr link to it, like it's on a Tumblr somewhere. But people have been saving it, and but that's the thing with this stuff. Someone saves it, and then it gets expanded out. It's like a virus, for lack of a better word, and it'll eventually get out. But yeah, so that's the Comic-Con news. I don't think we're missing anything because, like, they're making a Doctor Doom movie. The guy who created Legion on FX is creating a Doctor Doom movie for Fox. So look out for that. Also, Krypton's going to have a bunch of Superman villains. Zod's going to be in it. Brainiac's going to be in it. There are a bunch of others, but those are the two I remember off the top of my head. So that'll be interesting, too. That's going to be on Sci-Fi. SYFY, if you don't know how to spell sci-fi, the stupid-ass way they do it. So, yeah. So
have you been... this is sort of, extremely off topic. But it's a good I think this is a good segue. Okay. Have you been using the public transportation of New York City recently?
No, I have not. I've heard how bad it is, though. It's awful.
And then every other day, trains are derailing and flipping on its side.
Yeah. The best was today on the news. I heard Cuomo stepping in, like, you guys gotta get your shit together. And I'm just like, if I'm Cuomo, I'm just like, why the fuck does this involve me? Like, you guys can't handle this yourself. Like, it's the biggest city on the planet. Just handle this.
Cuomo, hate each other.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. Like, all New York State politics has been for the last few months. It's just a dick measuring contest between Cuomo and De Blasio, and it's hilarious.
And then there was that thing where Cuomo killed a deer and then blamed it on New York City.
How? I didn't even see that.
That's when there was like an injured baby deer in like Central Park. And then the city officials were gonna get it, and then Cuomo was just like, no, the state will do it. And then they like threw it in the back of like a truck and it died. and then Cuomo was just like, wow, good job, New York. And try to blame. Hold on.
You mean the 2020 presidential candidate for the Democratic Party, Andrew Cuomo?
Not. If you type in New York City kills, it's New York City kills baby. New York City cop kills himself. New York City cop kills baby. New York City cop kills black man. In New York City, fresh kills landfill. I click on that one.
What's it called? I think if The Rock doesn't run, then Cuomo should run. Because I still think my theory of debates with Vince McMahon moderating all of them, and just having all of them as be a night of WWE Raw would be hilarious.
Okay, I think I switched it around.
The city killed him. Yeah, that makes more sense. That doesn't sound like something that Cuomo would do. Cuomo is an idiot, but he's not that stupid.
No, because they found this. It was a one antlered deer in Harlem, and they assumed it was injured. So then I think Albany said. Hold on. It took 2 days.
And here's my question,
figure out what to do.
Here's my question, too. Why is Albany getting involved with this at all? This is the definition of a local matter. Like,
okay, so the city was like, oh, well, it's injured, and it's just wandering around Harlem, so we should just euthanize it. It's not like it's endangered. And then Cuomo stepped in and was just like, de Blasio's slaughtering all the state's deer. And then he made de Blasio like pull the deer off of deer death row and turn it over to state officials, so the state would like help it like save it, I guess. And then this is literally like minutes after the state people took the deer, died.
Yeah. Speaking of politics, we don't really talk about politics, but I feel the need to address this. Can the president pardon himself? That's the question I have.
No,
they can't.
That cannot happen.
No, they can't pardon themselves.
Because
why would Nixon have done that?
There's already rules about like you can't subpoena a sitting president. So there's like things that don't really apply. So basically, to like be completely charged like with the crime, I think the president has to like be removed first.
No, because the thing is, impeachment is not the act of trying to get him removed from office. Impeachment is the process by which you bring charges against the president for high crimes and misdemeanors.
Okay, I was close. I was like,
so you need to go through the impeachment process to subpoena a sitting president. But our fearless leader the other day tweeted out that he could in fact pardon himself. Now my question is, if you haven't done anything wrong, why are you saying you can pardon yourself?
This is when everyone in his camp is like, nothing happened in the meetings, and then he tweets like, anyone would have taken that meeting. That's just politics. But then, and he like admits that it happened, and he's like, it didn't happen. Like it's amazing how stupid he is. I've also heard another rumor that he's acting retarded, like where he's just where he just wanders around parking lots now, because he's doing this resign for health issues.
Like what's it called? Like Kevin on The Office.
Yeah, the thing the vice president can do is, because impeachment hearings have to go through the Senate, and the vice president is the president of the Senate, he can just stop the Senate from functioning.
I don't think that would go over well, though.
It wouldn't go over well, but
I feel like there's definitely a failsafe in place to prevent that from happening. I feel like there's a massive oversight on the part of our founding fathers to.
No, the vice president, because there's like no rules about the vice president except that he's president of the Senate. That's right. It.
Well, there's no way to overthrow the president of the Senate.
I assume Mike Pence wants to be president.
Now, but here's the thing: that would be worse. If I'm inheriting the situation, not inheriting, if I'm reading the situation correctly, which is entirely possible that I'm not, because I'm getting the majority of my news secondhand through other people.
Yes.
So, if I'm hearing the situation correctly, the issue at hand is that this is completely off topic, but was there collusion between the Americans and the Russians, between the Trump campaign and the Russians? If there was, and it was to a degree where it could be considered treasonous, why would Pence become president after the fact?
Well, that's why he keeps separating himself more and more, where it's going to be down to, can we just throw a blanket over everyone involved and just get rid of all of them? Or do we need to go down a list of every person exactly what they did, which is probably what they're going to have to do?
Because let's be honest, I think the best thing for both parties and for the country as a whole would be if they impeached both at once. And here's why I say for both parties. In the event that both Trump and Pence are impeached at the same time, President pro tempore of the Senate becomes president. That is a Democrat. So the Democrats would take control. Now, the Republicans, I think the Republicans were hoping Trump would lose in the election. But now, if the Democrats can successfully oust both Trump and Pence and put in a Democrat in office, the Republicans can spin that as, look at the revolt the Democrats did.
Yeah.
Then they can completely spin that to look bad. Now, for Trump, that's a bad thing because no Democrat sitting as president is going to pardon Trump. Like, for Trump, the best case scenario is Pence takes over because then Pence can pardon him. But, and the thing is, too, you have, like, there's no even if you say deniability, like, deniability doesn't change the outcome of the election. Plausible deniability on the part of Pence does not change the outcome of the election. So, like, even if Pence didn't know about it at all, it doesn't influence the fact that there was still collusion with the Russians, and that still influenced how the election went. So you can't. There's no defense for Pence in this. Pence just got fucked. Like, that's plain and simple. The easiest way to put it. Like, he put his entire political career in the hands of Donald Trump, and he's gonna get fucked now.
He's the only one that... I'm fine with that. He's an asshole.
Well, yeah, but, like, do you get when you back the wrong horse? Did you ever hear, speaking of horse, did you ever hear John Mulaney talk about how the whole thing with Trump is like seeing a horse being loose in a hospital?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that bit. Mulaney's actually really funny when he's not on his own TV show.
And I think it's just because he was such a bad actor.
Yeah, that's what the problem is. And the thing is, he's got this awkward mannerism when he talks.
But it didn't work.
It doesn't work into a TV show.
Whenever he's on Comedy Bang Bang, he's hilarious, and when he plays characters on Comedy Bang Bang, he's hilarious. And it's like not awkward at all.
I think it's because he's not on camera.
And when no, because he has a Netflix special that just came out, Oh Hello with Nick Kroll, where he plays and that's all character. It's really funny. I recommend it.
I do.
There's one part where it's like they're two old Jewish men that live on the Upper West Side of New York City, and they're like, of Manhattan, and he's like, or as we call it, the coffee breath of Manhattan. And there's one part, like, the other day I was in a cab, and I opened my door into a bicyclist and protest against de Blasio.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun few months if they actually can find anything. Yeah. So that segue that's my fault. That segue did not go as smoothly as we anticipated.
No, if you just say, "Oh, this is a good segue," then it just makes it a good segue.
The one I like using is the one that the guy Yuri of Wind on YouTube. He's a Kingdom Hearts YouTuber. He's like, speaking of bad segues, and then he just goes on to the next thing. So we're gonna talk about Christopher Nolan's most recent movie prior to Dunkirk. Have you seen Dunkirk yet?
I have not, but I would like to.
Oh my god, that movie is fucking amazing. Like, it hands down is the best movie I've seen in theaters in a long time.
Ooh, I do want to see it.
Like, it... do you want me to tell you something cool about the pacing of the movie? The movie is paced in a very weird way. So from the trailers, you can tell there are really three groups of characters. There's Harry Styles and the people on the beach. There's the people on the boat. And there's Tom Hardy as Bane in the mask up in the airplane again. He does the Bane voice, too. I don't know if it was on purpose or on accident, but there's one thing where he does the Bane voice on accident.
That's strange.
I laughed a little bit. So I don't think anyone else around me got it, because I brought the average age in that theater down to about 90, because I think I was in a theater of people who were at the Battle of Dunkirk.
They thought it was that they were featured in a documentary. No, I probably will go see it maybe this weekend. Go to the infamous Sundance Theater in the U District and get turned because there's alcohol there.
Oh, you might. There was one thing at the end of the movie. I'm not gonna tell you what it was. It made me almost cry. But the thing that the movie does cool is that all the stuff on the beach takes place over the course of a week.
Ooh.
So any scene on the beach takes place over the course of the week. Any scene on the boat takes place over the course of a day. And any scene on the plane takes place over the course of an hour.
Ah, that's interesting.
So that way you can have all three storylines going at the same time. Because if you did it in like the natural way it happens, it wouldn't meld well. Because like you'd have the entire movie being them on the land, and then it goes to the boat, and then it'd be really weird if they did it like that. But now you get Tom Hardy through the entire movie, you get the crew of the boat the entire movie, and you also get the crew on the beach the entire movie. But like the ending is so good of this movie, and not the part that you're gonna see and you're gonna be like, I've seen this before. in another Nolan movie that we're talking about today. And that's not the part that almost made me cry. It's a different part. But it's you're gonna see it. You're gonna be like, oh, I see what you're talking about. Like, even if you disagree, you're gonna be like, I see how he thought that. So definitely go see Dunkirk if you have not already seen it. That movie is amazing. Don't see Valerian. Don't waste your hard.
I wasn't going to.
Valerian. I'm talking in general. I know you had no intention of seeing Valerian because you're not a Luke. The best is, I think, the trailer perfectly sums up the way the movie goes in terms of quality. Because apparently the movie starts out very strong and then just turns to shit gradually as it goes. It's because the movie is directed by the guy who does The Fifth Element. And then it's like, it goes through his thing. It's like the visionary director of The Fifth Element, and Salt, and Lucy, and La Femme Nikita.
Cool.
Like, it perfectly goes through and like perfectly lines up what happened, where the movie goes wrong. But yeah, it looks like something that if you're not going to see it in IMAX 3D, it's not worth seeing, and it's not worth seeing in IMAX 3D. So maybe just skip that one completely. And what was the? Oh, I'm waiting for the Inconvenient sequel next week and Atomic Blonde. Those are both next week. Because someone got up and walked out of my showing of Dunkirk when they showed an Inconvenient sequels trailer.
I can't. I really want to see that.
I'm going to see that movie because I just love the trailer where it shows, like, I know it's a little insensitive because a lot of people were seriously displaced after Sandy, but like Sandy is turned into a punchline in the trailer where it's like people saw the first movie and they were the most upset about is the fact that I said that in the event of a bad storm with the recent global warming instances, the World Trade Center Memorial Site would be completely underwater. And then it cuts to news coverage from New York during Sandy. It's like, and if you look over here, you can see the World Trade Center Memorial Site is completely underwater. Like, the movie's just going to be 2 hours of Al Gore saying, I was right, I was right, I was right. And I'm looking forward to that. I love those kind of movies. And then Atomic Blonde looks great, too.
Oh, yeah. I do want to see that also.
That comes out next week. And then the week after is Detroit, which is going to be nominated for Best Picture. It's Catherine Bigelow's return to directing.
Which one? Is that the one with...
About the Detroit riots?
Someone famous. It's like a cop, right?
I think John Boyega's in it.
That's it. I think he plays a cop.
Yeah. But that movie's again an easy Best Picture nomination. So back to Interstellar, the movie.
Yes.
I don't think anyone really considers this one his best movie.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like there's a lot of movie in the beginning where you just realize, like, holy fuck, like, if you rewatch it, it's not a good rewatch movie. That's my opinion, at least. I don't know if you had that same issue when you rewatched it.
Nope. I still fucking love this movie.
Because the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this is amazing, because I saw it in theaters the first time. And then the second time, I was like, holy fuck, I don't remember this being anywhere near this long.
Nope, I still love all of it.
I got to the part where they get back from the first planet, and I'm like, holy fuck, there's still half the movie left.
Nope.
But
I disagree.
It's not like The Revenant. The Revenant is definitely a movie you cannot rewatch.
The first time we watched The Revenant, I thought it felt long.
Yeah. That was the problem. It's like there's too many established. I like the honest trailer, where it's like, oh look, the sky, and here's the sky. Oh look, the sky again. Yep, the sky's still there. But like the problem with I don't think there's really too much of a problem in terms of what the story is. It's just like it's just long. Like, holy fuck, this movie is long.
Nope, I love all. Well, The Revenant, that's how I felt. But Interstellar, I really like all of this movie. I like the sci-fi parts of it. I like the weird space parts of it. There is a giant plot hole that no one talks about. People just get pissed off because of the love part at the end. But there's an even bigger plot hole that's a real plot hole, besides that's not scientific.
What is it?
And it's... Okay, so the future humans placed the wormhole, right?
Right.
How is that possible if we never were able to go into the future to begin with, if no one ever placed a wormhole?
No, that's not. That's not a what's it called? That's not a plot hole. Oh
Yeah,
wait, yes it is. No, it's not.
The only
self-fulfilling
reason
prophecy or something like. It's not self-fulfilling prophecy. There's a word for it. It's not a paradox either. It's where the correct course of history, because we do place the wormhole exists.
Yeah, but that means we had to do it. But there's no explanation of how that's possible.
As to how they built the worm.
Because the only reason they're able. Because the only reason they're able to build a wormhole is because they used the wormhole.
All right, let me get some paper here. Let me draw this real quick. We're
gonna draw me how wormhole works.
No. I love it they did that to a scientist. What have I got here? I got a pen around here somewhere.
Oh, fuck.
Are we both looking for pens right now to draw this?
No, I just unplugged in my headphone jack.
Oh, okay.
That's turning my headphones off, and I sound like someone shot a gun next to my ear.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I feel like I'm on the flash right now. Okay, can you see this? Let me use a different piece of paper that I don't need to show for evidence. That's a long story.
That's a very precariously placed tower of video games behind you.
Oh no, that's movies. That's not video games.
Oh, sorry. It's still very precariously placed.
Okay, so they do this literally twice or three times a season on the Flash. This is the timeline. Okay.
Okay.
This is the point where the wormhole is. I can't.
Okay.
How the fuck did I do it on the TV show? So they go forward, and here's where they invent the ability to do the wormhole. Now the reason they can get to there is because here they put the wormhole here in the first place. So because they can put the wormhole here, it's a closed loop. It exists as a closed loop in time.
Yeah, but they can never get to the original point because humanity dies without the wormhole.
No, but they get to the point because they go through the wormhole.
Yeah, but the only reason the wormhole is there is because humanity is able to survive until they're able to create a wormhole.
Right, okay. So because they go to the wormhole, they're able to... Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Never mind. I've seen, by the way, that picture I drew for him is, if you've watched The Flash in season 3, you will recognize it because it's literally the thing they used 7 or 8 times in at least 6 different episodes. They drew that picture to explain how Savitar is alive. So I don't understand it either. Oh no, I guess because she figured out how to do it in the end.
No, she figured out how to shut gravity off.
Oh, okay.
And the only way she was able to do that is because
love.
Matthew McConaughey went through the wormhole and then went through a black hole.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's stupid. Well, that's not too big of a problem. I don't dock a movie points for plot holes that affect how the movie happens. Like, if it's a plot hole that affects the plot of the movie within itself, that's different. But a plot hole as to what causes the movie to happen in the first place, that's different. Like, how did the wormhole get there? That doesn't make me not like the movie. Like, if I'm watching the movie and it's like, another wormhole appears that gets them out of trouble, like, yeah, that's different. I don't really have too much to say on this movie because it's so well shot, and you get a very good soundtrack from Hans Zimmer. And
the Matt Damon part is amazing. That's one of the best surprises I've ever had in a movie.
Yeah. It could have been close with Johnny Depp in, not in Tusk, in Fantastic Beasts.
Nah.
If they didn't announce in advance that he was going to be in the next one.
That is very true.
I think for me, the Johnny Depp in Tusk was a bigger shock.
Especially because you didn't believe me
No, I didn't.
when I said, I think that's Johnny Depp, and you're like, no, it's not.
There's no way that's shot because it didn't look anything. Guy Lapointe doesn't look anything like Johnny Depp.
No, he does not.
There's a lot of facial prosthesis there. And did we ever talk about Tusk?
Yeah, we definitely did.
We didn't do Yoga Hosers though. Hosers.
Have you seen it yet?
I haven't. I have not watched it yet.
It's not that good.
I didn't think so. Nothing about the movie indicated to me that it would be good. But I did buy it anyway. I have it in this. Oh, it's down the bottom shelf, like way the fuck over there. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna.
But it's short, so it's like you don't feel like your life's been wasted after you watch it.
Right. Oh, what was the trailer that had the weird cover of the Eurythmics song?
I don't know.
Oh my! It came out a few days ago. I just watched the trailer for it. I forgot what movie it was, but I was like, "Oh no!" You know what it was? A Wrinkle in Time with Ava DuVernay's "A Wrinkle in Time" has a cover of "Sweet Dreams" by the Eurythmics. Now, here's my question to them: why would you use that when the last time a weird cover of a Eurythmics of that specifically that song was used? It was Emily Browning singing it in Sucker Punch, and Sucker Punch, even among Zack Snyder fanboys, is widely regarded as one of the worst movies ever made. Except for the ones who really drank the Kool-Aid and are like, no, it's just too deep for you to understand. Like, no, it's a shitty fucking movie. Like,
No, I don't even think that's a good movie.
I have it though. I bought it for $3 at Walmart. I'm working on a collection of worst movies of all time. On the other end, Interstellar. Yeah, that movie. I like. I really don't know how you. It's like 2001: A Space Odyssey. But like, I think it's better than 2001. I know you're gonna get like blasphemous on that one. But I do think it's better than 2001: A Space Odyssey. That can be the real question here. Is it better or is it worse than 2001?
I don't think so. But I think 2001 is an acquired taste.
Right. It's not for everyone. It's not. Very specific people will like that movie. Those with better taste will prefer Interstellar over 2001.
I don't think so.
2000. I'm not disparaging.
But
I'm not saying 2001's a bad movie either. Don't misquote me.
I love both of them, but I like 2001: Space Odyssey better.
Yeah,
but I try to think what I was going through what my favorite Christopher Nolan movie is.
Is it The Dark Knight Rises?
It's not a Dark Knight Rises. I don't even think it's a Dark Knight, but I feel like Interstellar will be up there for me.
Honestly, for me, you haven't seen it yet, but Dunkirk is my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. What would be the second favorite then?
Inception is very good.
Yeah, but Inception's not my favorite. Like, I wasn't even too impressed by Inception when I saw it. Like, I think Inception is like one of those annoying fan base. Like, Christopher Nolan's another person who's got a very annoying fucking fan base. Yes. Him and Zack Snyder, I think, have the Christopher Nolan's is pretentious and they act like they're smarter than everyone else.
To the fine cinema.
It's like, oh, we love Memento. Look at how cool Memento is. Like, yeah, okay, the movie's told backwards. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, and then what was the? But like, Zack Snyder's the same way, where it's like, you don't see how much Jesus he put into this movie. Like, yeah, we're abundantly aware of how much Jesus put into the movie. He wasn't subtle about it either. It was just like just a fucking Jesus everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I actually do think my second favorite would be The Dark Knight. But like,
it's very good.
The other problem with The Dark Knight is that too feels long when you watch it on subsequent viewings. Like, Batman Begins doesn't feel long. The Dark Knight Rises doesn't feel long. Like, because there are so many, like, different things different confrontations between Batman and the Joker, and they're not broken up as, like, episodes. Like, if it had like subtitles in the same way, like not obviously not, I don't mean the same exact way Clerks has it, but like if they had it broken up in some way, but there's too much going on in that movie where it's like, and it's not broken up in any way that's meaningful to make it not easier for the audience to understand, but like if you break it up and make it seem, it doesn't seem quite so mushed in. Like, you know, like you have the Joker at the party, you have the Joker at the hospital, you have the Joker in the car chase, and then getting captured at the police station. You have the Joker in the beginning, killing the guy with the pencil. You have the Joker with the boats. There's so many things the Joker does in this movie. It's not, and the thing is too, with the exception of the time he slams the guy's head into the table, I can't tell you with exact certainty what order he does anything.
Mm-hmm.
That like not subtitles, but like title cards would have made it a little bit better. But it's still a really good movie. But yeah, so any other thoughts on Interstellar?
It's amazing. I don't think it's too long at all. I love all of it. The music is one of the best soundtracks ever.
I wouldn't say ever.
Ever. It brought back to McConaughey back to the forefront of what people think are amazing actors.
Yeah, it started the reconnaissance, as it's called.
The only part that I need to put subtitles on to understand what's going on is when Michael Caine is dying. And he's like crying to Murph.
They say far too many times. I completely forgot about this
part. Like 3-ish times.
They say the fucking poem from Back to School.
It's not from Back to School. It just
do
happens
not go
to be
gently into the...
It's not like they say the trailer that it's like, oh, do you remember it's from Back to School?
And then it's like, by the time WWE 2 was coming out and they had the trailer they had the song, the poem in the trailer, I was like, son of a fucking bitch, can we just put a moratorium on this for the next decade?
But it's like, when Murphy's dying and he like admits that he's lied about the equation the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, brr, 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 brr. But then he starts saying the poem and you can understand him again.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the most important thing in the movie, is how many times they can recite that poem before they get to the end of the movie.
And at the end of the movie, it's on the statue.
Yeah, exactly. So 4 times, because they say at least 3. But no, that movie. Have you seen Back to School yet? Because it definitely is in that movie.
No, I have not. I don't think it's a movie I need to see.
Do you know who else is in that movie?
O.J. Simpson.
Robert Downey Jr.
I did not know that.
A very young Robert Downey Jr. is in that movie. But yeah, how would you rate Interstellar?
9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say 9 only because I feel like it's... again, you disagree with me, but I say it's too... I feel like it's too long. But yeah, so... we didn't address the price hike in movies, did we?
I didn't know there was one.
They hiked the price...
I already go to expensive movie.
No. I mean Blu-rays and DVDs.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, they hiked the price on Blu-rays and DVDs. New release DVDs are now $17.99 the first weekend, not including what's it called? Oh, fuck you. All right, I guess we'll have to address that too in a few minutes. But like, if you buy a new release movie, the DVD starts at 17 rather than 15. The Blu-ray starts at 25 rather than 30, rather than 20, and the DVD and the 4K is now like 30. And the first movie that really impacted was Kong Skull Island. If you read the thing I do on the website, Expand Your Collection, it's a weekly thing that I do where I talk about what the deals are this week, from like Best Buy and stuff like that. I said in that, like, I saw Godzilla, the 2014 Godzilla, on 3D Blu-ray at, what's it called? At Rite Aid for $10. So you might just wait. But yeah, so here are some the big deals and new releases this week. Ghost in the Shell. That crock of shit, continuing the trend of bad anime adaptations, is coming out on... actually, it came out today on Blu-ray and all of that. I think we could safely say skip. Do you agree?
Yeah, probably.
Skip, don't buy that. Boss Baby comes out as well today.
I did not see it.
I think you could say skip, because to me, the only thing in the trailer that made me even remotely interested in the movie, and
was the Glenn Ross?
Yeah, the Glenn Ross joke at the end of it. Put the cookie down. That's the only thing that attracts me to that movie in any way. And to be fair, it's a kids movie, and if you get my attention during a trailer for a kids movie, that like if I'm in the movie theater, I'm gonna tune it out when that happens. And if you get my attention again, then you've done a good job. But that does not make me see the movie. Gifted, the new Chris Evans movie, where he is a father to a girl who
is retarded.
No, she's gifted. That as the movie's called Gifted, and he's adopted father to a girl who is retarded. No, opposite, gifted.
Sounds just like another word.
So that came out this week, as well as Unforgettable Rosario Dawson movie and Black Butterfly. I've never heard of that prior to today. This is the only interesting one here. Dragon Ball Super Part 1 comes out on DVD, which if you don't want to record, or I don't know if they actually are showing it in time on Toonami, but they are releasing it on DVD, the new series of Dragon Ball. I might pick that up. In terms of video games, Tuesday, a new game came out for the Switch called Fate Extella: The Umbral Star. Now, this is my problem. Available Thursday, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remaster for $39.99. I said this was going to happen. I don't know why I'm surprised either. Like, it's not like I didn't call this was going to happen when last April, when they announced this game was coming out. I said within a year they're going to release it standalone, just the Modern Warfare Remaster.
You did?
I don't know why I did it anyway. That was really fucking stupid of me. There are 2 shovelware games coming out for the 3DS. Hey Pikmin and Miitopia coming out Friday. Persona 5 is on sale, $10 off Best Buy. Dragon Quest Heroes is $15 off, and Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 are $15 off at $34.99. That one I would definitely recommend you get if you don't already have it. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5, because you get 4 games and 2 movies for $35. And I just okay. Do you remember when I was playing the first Kingdom Hearts and there was a trophy for get all of the gummy ship blueprints? So I spent like 2 days trying to do the gummy ship routes to get all of the fucking blueprints. And then I got stuck on the last one, which is like go from Hollow Bastion to Traverse Town, taking no damage. And like the first thing, there's a little wall in front of you. You have to glitch through the wall to get the last thing. Yeah, they fixed that achievement. They fixed a lot of the achievements in Kingdom Hearts 1. Where it's like, initially you had to play through the game 3 times to get all the achievements in Kingdom Hearts. Because you need to beat it on easy, on medium, and on hard. Now it's beat the game on easy, or beat the game on medium or easy, or beat the game on hard, medium, or easy. And you'll just unlock all 3. And they also fixed it where you don't have to collect all the gummy blueprints, you only have to collect 30 of them. So I'm only missing 2 achievements now, and I just have to get, and I'm 2 away from from platinuming that game. If you do not have a 3DS, the new Nintendo 2DS XL comes out on Friday for the low price of $149.99. I think this one folds over on itself too, like a regular 3DS.
Whoa.
I don't know why. I don't know why they made the 2DS not fold over on itself when it came out. Like, am I right about that? Like, that was a really stupid design choice. And yeah, it does fold over onto itself. And there's also a sale, a new low price.
What?
Do you remember a few months back I bought a Xbox One S 500 gigabyte with Battlefield 1? Yeah, it's on sale. It's cheaper now from now on, down to $279.
But what have you? Wouldn't your life be different if you haven't had it for the last
30
5
bucks.
months?
It's not that big a deal. It's $30. Also, buy one get one half off on select digital titles for the Xbox. I picked up Firewatch and Overcooked at buy one get one half price for the Xbox One. So I will eventually play Firewatch. How much did you pay for it? You got it.
Sorry, bought what? My DS.
Firewatch.
Oh, like $6 maybe?
Oh, I paid $20 yesterday.
I waited for a Steam sale. That's why.
Oh, okay. I got it. They're having it's buy one get one half price on digital titles for the Xbox. And I got it there. If you buy an Xbox One, you save $20 off a controller and a stereo headset. And the Xbox. Okay, let me take a minute and ask you this question. What do you think an acceptable price to pay for a gaming headset is?
Okay, what is
not a VR headset? Not a VR headset. I'm talking
just like the talking.
Let me look up what this one does, okay? Because this is a save $20 sale at Best Buy, and I think the price is a little bit much. Let me take a look at what this thing can do. It better like cook me dinner or some shit. Like if it's gonna be this good. All right, so let me read you off the specs. I found it on Turtle Beach's website. Go big or go home. Unbeatable sound, excessive comfort, all of the features. Brace your ears for the game-changing DTS headphone X 7.1 surround sound and superhuman hearing in the Turtle Beach Elite 800X headset. The Elite 800X is the ultimate in completely immersive 100% wireless noise-canceling Xbox One game audio. Boost your game audio with dual boomless mics, Bluetooth connectivity with mobile devices, a long-lasting rechargeable battery up to 10 hours, and a magnetic charging stand to make sure your headset is always ready.
Okay. I'd say $60.
You would be well off.
How much is it?
$229.95.
That is a lot.
That is the sale price for this thing. Because here's my problem with this headset. How much Xbox Online do you play where you need this?
Me personally? Oh, okay.
I mean in general. Like, I know you don't own an Xbox, so the answer to that is none. So
yeah, I would take it.
But like, and the thing is, this thing has 5-star reviews. Like, people actually bought this thing. Like, why? Like, I use a Turtle Beach microphone. Like, that's the one I use now. I don't know if you noticed, if anyone listening noticed, that the audio quality on my end has gotten substantially better. No offense. But I'm using an actual microphone now. I paid $100 for it. It's a Turtle Beach streaming mic. It's a microphone. It looks like. Let me show you real quick what it looks like. I don't think I ever showed you. It looks like. Fuck. I can't actually show you. Hang on. The wire isn't long enough. There it is.
I have seen it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an actual microphone. So that I paid $100 for, and this works with my computer for this. So that's one thing. I bought those. Remember, I bought those Afterglow headphones that worked with every console ever made, and then 3 consoles that no one ever heard of, plus a computer. Yes. Those were $100.
Ooh.
It worked fine until I put my laptop down on the receiver the wrong way and it bent. And it didn't really work for doing the podcast retrospectively. But it did when it was just me and Josie. But if we had to record with me and you in the same room, it didn't work because the microphone was here. So it worked fine for that. But then if we put it between the two of us, it wasn't the best for that. This would have been better for that. the streaming mic that I have now. But it was a good headset that was way too. That's way too much. That's 230. Who plays Xbox with that amount that they need this quality of headphone?
Important to hear little kids tell you you're gay.
Like, even if you're playing on your computer and you're just like, oh, I'm playing single player by myself, buy Bose or something. Like, how much are the Bose headphones? Like the ones you have. How much are your Bose?
I think these were like 150-ish. I got them for Christmas, so I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Well, oh yeah, that's right. But either way, like even if it was $200, you're still $50 cheaper than the regular list price of these things, and it works for everything.
Yep, just need a jack.
Yeah, so I don't understand. How do people buy this thing and not think they're... I'm at a loss for words. I don't even, like... There are 800 reviews for this on Best Buy. 800 people looked at this thing and thought, oh, that's a good deal, and bought it. $250 is how much the 3DS was when it came out, that they had to lower the price because they're like, oh, that's too much. Like, and these are 2 years old. They came out in 2015. Like, let's look at these reviews real quick. Sound is great, but there's no mic button. The buttons are very sensitive. Well, I mean, let me take a look at the... is there a way to sort it? Like, good sound when working. Sound profile, sound works intermittently with the stuff. But, like, what the fuck? Like, how is there so much, like... How do so many people buy this thing and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, you don't seem as confused as I am on this. Like... And then the protection plan is $39.99. Oh, by the way, did I tell you that stupidity with the Geek Squad protection?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when I bought my new laptop? And then I had like that, and I bought like $400 of stuff because I also bought like Disney Infinity, and I bought like a memory card and a bunch of other things, all at the same time. Yeah. When I bought that stuff, I paid an extra, I think it was like $40 for Geek Squad protection. Guess what they put the Geek Squad protection on?
The keyboard.
No, Disney Infinity. This is the laptop I bought in Albany. This is the laptop I bought in Albany. They put Geek Squad protection on Disney Infinity, not on my laptop. Why would I want $40 of Geek Squad protection on a video game that's $60 and not the $300 laptop? I'm just confused about this whole, like, oh my god, like, I usually don't get like this either. Like, that's just really stupid. Like, $250 is a lot of money. For $50 more, you can get a Switch. Like, that's a lot of money. Oh, if you buy an Xbox One S at Target next week, you get a free $50 gift card to Target. An Xbox One S with with Minecraft. Yeah. Oh my god, the Target has a really shitty ad. Okay, well, anyway, that's it for this. That's it for this week.
Tech Grant.
What?
That's it for Tech Grant. Yeah,
we need to reevaluate what we stand for as a society if that's what we're fucking dealing. I don't even know. Oh shit, I don't have a movie selected. Let me look at the website. I think I have one up on the website. I looked over at the paper I have. Like, you know, I had the master list of everything we've done, just so that way I know we don't go over it. We don't do the same thing twice.
Indeed.
I got to a point on the master list where we've hit the point where I stopped naming episodes to do. So that's fun. Let's see, where are we? We are at Interstellar. We're gonna skip John Wick and Kong Skull Island, so we don't have anything this week. Well, fuck. Do you want to do Snake Pit this week?
We should do...
Or you want to do a classic movie selection again?
Maybe. Depends if it's free on Amazon or not.
Okay. Let me take a look real quick. Amazon. Let me see if this movie is on Amazon. I think we could do this one. We did do what was that one? The movie we just did, like, oh my god, what was it? We just did it a few weeks ago. The Clockwork Orange. That's it. We just did that, and that was the anti-behavioralism movie.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. Movies and TV. It does not appear as if it is on Amazon. Amazon. It's not even a digital movie on here. Like that's how obscure this movie is. It also didn't come out in 2004. That's a little bit of a missing there. What's the actual release here on this? Yeah, okay, go fuck yourself, Amazon. What's that site that you can use to see what the upcoming what's on various streaming sites? There's definitely a website for that.
I usually just Google stream blank and then stuff comes up.
See, this is what happens if you don't look at the list before we go on, which I usually do. That's a 1948 movie. We don't need the English subtitled version. Unless that's on here. I think it's on YouTube in its entirety.
Oh, that works out then.
Hang on one second. Oh, this guy recorded it off his TV like an asshole.
That's horrible.
It's also like a half hour long than the actual runtime of the movie somehow. This looks like he cropped it in a really stupid way. Yeah, he cropped it in a really stupid way. Okay, it's not on YouTube. I think I found it on this site. Or you can just buy the DVD for $10 on Amazon.
No.
Yeah, it's not available on streaming anywhere because this movie is very obscure. Unless does Turner Classic Movies put their movies up for streaming?
I have zero idea. I'm surprised if they even have a website.
They do have a website.
I'd say
you know, it's a
99.9%. That doesn't surprise me, and I would like to go. But I'm assuming 99.9%
No, they don't.
classic movies don't know how to use the internet.
No, they don't have it on here. There's no streaming on here.
Probably just you.
Don't say that's a bad thing. It's like it's cool. Like old movies are really bad reputation, I think. How about this? Let's just go on to here's what we'll do. Netflix.com, and let's see what old movie we can do from Netflix that we know is on Netflix. My account. We're not watching Last Chance U. Oh wow, Netflix knows me very well. Because like shows you like Castlevania, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and Glow.
Well, that was very good.
Let me see. Also, they're all shows I've already watched on Netflix. I haven't watched Glow yet, but I guess that was the one that I had to guess. Let me see. Where are the movies?
Hello.
Do you hear the Babadook is a gay icon? Browse. Classic. No, I think we lost him. Yeah, I think we lost him. Okay, well, let's see what we got for next week. It's on Netflix. I'll be able to text it to him. Okay, so that's fixed now. So what ended up what actually happened was I was having issues with my my wireless card for my computer, and I don't know if you knew this back in the day. You used to be able to actually buy like wireless cards that existed outside your. You would install it where the graphics card goes, like in your computer.
Yes. I had to do that because her Wi-Fi card broke.
Yeah, so I went to go buy one at Best Buy, and they don't make those anymore. So I bought an external one, which I guess just shit out on us a little bit. So let's take a look at what movie we can do. I'm on Classics under Netflix. That way we can find one that's actually a classic movie that actually fits into that. Let's see, and we actually can both watch it. Let's see.
I don't use Netflix anymore.
Do you really not? How do you not use Netflix?
I don't like their liberal agenda.
Oh, let's watch The Negro Soldier then.
I don't believe in mixed race.
That's a movie that I found on here. Literally called The Negro Soldier. Let me see if there's a way to subdo this, because it's really stupid the way they do it. Classic. Oh, fuck. Okay, that doesn't help either. Let's see.
Oh, fuck. Did I just start?
Hit start what? Let me see. Do you want to do...
So just watch 2 hours worth of Frasier.
I was gonna say, why don't we do, like, we could do, like, Sunset Boulevard, which, you know, was the last movie to get nominated for... Which, okay, do you remember how the La La Land was nominated for 17 Academy Awards? And it's, like, the last movie to get nominated for that many Academy Awards was Sunset Boulevard? No, All About Eve, never mind. This point's completely moot, never mind. I think Sunset Boulevard did win Best Picture, though. That was in 1950. So, do you want to do that? We could do Patton.
Really quick, I have a crazy show I started watching on Netflix.
What?
It's called Embarrassing Bodies.
Who?
It is a reality show where it's British. It's these doctors, and they just, like, treat people like that. But it's the main message of the show is that you should never be embarrassed enough. You should never be so embarrassed about your body that you don't go to the doctor for your problem. So that's like a good message, because the doctors are like, we don't really give a shit. We just want to help you. Like, we're not going to be like, whoa, that's gross. That's a good message. So the very first scene of the show, or the very first patient, because they do it from like a like fancy tractor trailer, because they drive around and they're like, come to the doctors. So then it's this woman comes in, and she's like, oh, I have this weird thing, like, she didn't say this, but like on my asshole. But I can't, like, it just feels like a growth. And I'm embarrassed to, like, for anyone to see it. Like, I've had it for years and I've never been to the doctor because I'm so embarrassed for anyone to look at it. And, like, it's, like, very uncomfortable or whatever, and the doctor's like, okay, like, let's take a look. And she fucking pulls her pants down, and you see this woman's asshole. So, she was too embarrassed to go to the doctor for years and lived with it. But showing it on camera, she's like, oh,
on television.
Like, fuck it. And then the show becomes you looking at people's, like, diseased genitalia for an hour. It is fucking crazy. And, like, inverted nipples, and, like, people getting plastic surgery, and, like, all these other crazy surgeries, and they don't censor anything. So it's a fucking crazy show. 10 out of 10, would recommend.
What about a Audrey Hepburn movie?
No. She hated the Jews.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like a good movie.
Not gonna expand on that. It's just, yeah.
I think that's just a fact. Hold on, I'm going through these.
I wish there were more classes. How are there no Oh, that's why. It's on suggestions
Moana.
for me. That's what the problem is.
Moana.
Moana in color. That 1926 movie about people just living.
No. The Rock.
That's not... Oh, you want to do Moana next week?
No, we could do that, but...
I didn't think that was on Netflix yet. It's really depressing how many movies took off of here. In the classic genre. Like, what the fuck? All right, let's look at let me look at Amazon because there's like nothing on. There's
The Omen.
That's on that was they didn't come up in the classic movies for me. I'm looking for like pre 1965. We want to remove the stigma on those movies. That's our goal. We're on a quest to civilize. That's what we'll say.
E.T.
That's not pre 1965, and everyone loves E.T.
Yeah, the classic. Parent Trap?
Parent Trap. Oh yeah, that could work.
No, the Lindsay Lohan.
No,
one.
the original, not the Lindsay Lohan one.
That one's not good though.
The original's good.
Watch Know Your Enemy, Japan.
Okay, no, that sounds like
Though culturally insensitive, this propaganda film examines the history of Japan.
yes. We're not gonna do that though.
That sounds like we should review that movie.
That sounds like something that like they would do on like Tell 'em Steve Dave or something. Like
Nazi concentration camps.
Okay, let me take a look. Included with Prime.
These are what's recommended for me in my classes. Prelude to War. The Battle of Midway. Patton. I don't really watch that many World War II things, but I just give the Desert Fox.
Let's see.
The Memphis Battle.
Why don't they do like Netflix has like the what's it called, the classic? Like there's no classic button on here. Let's go to music.
Undercover.
What's in the music.
How to operate behind enemy lines.
I have Rent already. I'd say let's do Rent if I already have that on DVD.
Is Frankenstein on here?
The original?
Yeah.
I have it on DVD.
No.
I bought it. Man, they have really shitty.
Can we watch just all 2 seasons of Grace and Frankie?
No, I'm good. We don't have to do that. Okay, this is not helping at all. Man, Amazon really needs to update their system. Do I do Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Netflix?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Maybe. I'm on Netflix right now.
Because that'd be a good one.
Hold on.
We should probably do like foreign films from last year.
What is your year cutoff?
1965, let's say, because that way it'll still fall into Leonard Maltin's book.
Can we do the African Queen?
I'm afraid to ask what that is.
It has Clark Gable in it, so cool your jets.
Okay, so it's an actual movie, not not like a National Geographic thing.
And by Clark Gable, I meant Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, that could work. Let me take a look at this to take a look at the description real quick before we go into something that's like incredibly racist.
It's not rated. That means nudity.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yes. The African Queen from 1951. It's an adaptation of a novel. Catherine Hepburn's in this movie. They're missionaries in the kingdom of Kungdu in German East Africa at the beginning of World War One. Let me see if there's a thing on controversy on here. Humphrey Bogart did win Best Actor at the Academy Awards. John Huston was nominated for Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Katharine Hepburn was nominated for Best Actress.
Boom.
The AFI's Top 100 put it at number 17 for Top 100 Movies of All Time in 1998.
Boom.
And 10 years later, it made the list again in 2007 at number 65 instead.
Sounds like I found a gem.
Let's see. It was adapted into a 1-hour radio play. And it was the inspiration for the Jungle Cruise in Disney World. So yeah, I guess we could do this one.
Wow.
All right, let's do that. Let me put that on the. I'll put that on the website later. We will be doing next week. We will be doing the African Queen with Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn. I could be the announcer guy on what's it called on TCM with that voice.
You just go and host it. I'm sure the next person's gonna die soon. You can be in there.
By the way, you know what's really weird? I went through sponsored products related to this item. I saw the Snake Pit page open, see all the movies recommended, and the first thing on the list is Interstellar on Blu-ray.
Good.
So it all comes full circle. It'd be really weird if it was like Fantastic Four 2015 for like related movies. So we will be back next week with the African Queen from 1951. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1951. So that'll be cool. And then we'll come up with, before we come on next week, we will not spend the half hour trying to pick the next movie on the show.
That was fun.
We will. You get to see the behind the scenes of how that works. It was like, what's it called? The do you ever hear that on when they did that? What was the podcast they did that on? Talk salad and scrambled eggs. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, let's do that. So hopefully Gojo will be back next week too. Maybe we can bring in some more. Maybe something will happen, and I don't think anything's gonna happen between now and the next episode in terms of like news, because like Comic-Con just happened. So it's kind of like everyone just comes, and then the next like month is just nothing happens.
That's what everyone said the week before 9/11.
It's like it's like the movie business goes into like a refractory period after Comic-Con. That's basically the best way to put this. Like, I can't think of a better way to describe what this time period is either. Because like there's no new movies coming out to really talk about anything like that. Because August is a very weak month for movies. I don't know if you noticed that too. Like there's what?
Depends on the movie.
Releases August 2017. Because like there's Detroit, there's The Dark Tower. I think that's it though. Okay, thank you, Movie Phone, for the dumbest fucking list on the planet. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, just The Dark Tower that first week. The Nut Job too. How could I forget?
See? Classic.
Ingrid Goes West. That's another movie that's had some buzz around it. Partially because the internet always talks anytime Aubrey Plaza is anywhere near a film set for some fucking reason.
I really want to see The Little Hours, though. That movie looks really funny with Aubrey Plaza. Have you seen a trailer for that?
Yeah, that's the one with the nuns.
Yeah, but have you seen a trailer? Watch the Red Band trailer for it.
Oh, I did not watch that.
It's so funny. Because it's like they're nuns and they're just doing shit, and then this guy says hi, and they're just like, shut the fuck up. Like, it just looks so funny.
Logan Lucky. That also looks pretty good. I saw that trailer. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm thinking of something else.
That one, it's the James Bond sequel.
What happened?
It's a sequel to James Bond.
Oh, no, that's not the movie I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, because Daniel Craig is in it.
No, I know. Okay, I knew you weren't being serious about it being a James Bond sequel. I understand that. I know how this works.
No, Daniel Craig is in Logan. No, it's the one with the guy from Star Wars, right?
Maybe.
With
which one? There are a lot of guys.
Adam Driver.
Oh yes. Maybe I'm thinking.
Yeah, Daniel Craig's also in that movie.
Oh, okay. September's better though. They have the new Goon movie. It. American Assassin looks really good, by the way.
I don't know what that is.
Kingsman: The Golden Circle, which is the second trailer for that's hilarious, and so was the what's it called? The trailer for the clip of Archer and Eggsy meeting.
Oh yeah, I need to watch that. I haven't watched it yet.
It is really funny.
Oh wait, I also have, as we close out, I have a very funny story about my dad.
Sure.
So he visited me in Seattle this weekend. He stayed at the hotel because I have a 300 square foot studio apartment. So it doesn't really it doesn't really
Lend
help
to having people there.
visiting. Yeah. So, but he said he woke up in the middle of the night, and then the shadow from his like bathroom door like opened, and like the closet door he said it made it look like there was someone standing in the room, like in the middle of the night. And he like jumped up out of bed and rushed at what he thought was a person, screamed, "Get out of my room!" And then he had such a big adrenaline rush from that he like couldn't sleep for like 6 hours. I was like, oh, I really wish someone like called like the front desk
security.
or something. That someone was like screaming in the next room.
Oh, you know what other trailer I thought looked really good?
What?
Murder on the Orient Express. Surprisingly,
The Orient Express.
Yeah.
I'll see anything with Judi Dench in it. Because then we get more Judi Dench set stories where she like knits pillows that say "cunt" on them.
Also, apparently, James Marsden and the Wonder Woman, or whatever the hell it's called, the movie about how they created Wonder Woman, that apparently is a movie about how the guy who created Wonder Woman was a masochist, and how all of his fantasies became Wonder Woman's power set. So
That sounds fun.
Like, the epitome of strong female character is entirely based on a guy who liked to jerk off to women, like, taking control over him. So, like, that's why, like, he invented the polygraph, the guy. But then, like, he also, like, liked being tied up. So that's why he has a lasso that makes people tell the truth. And then, like, when she was tied up, she lost all her powers.
I feel like this is something that we just should not have found out about. Like, this could have just laid, just never been discovered.
You know what's the best part of this, too? It's being made into a movie with Rebecca Hall. Like,
cool.
And the Disaster Artist comes out in December. That I'm gonna see. But Pitch Perfect
That's
3
fun.
looks awful.
I'll probably see. I've never seen a Pitch Perfect.
The first Pitch Perfect was good. I don't think the second one was very good. This third one looks god awful.
Like, they'll make money, so why not?
Yeah, but this one, the third one's gonna be bad because it comes out the week after Star Wars.
It's also a premise where it's like, how much more can be done?
Well, no, this is the last one. Like, the tagline for the movie is the final bow. Well, no, because at the end of the last one, they graduated from college. So like, this one is they're going to reunite after they've graduated.
They graduate from life
Because they've peaked.
I had a respect for it. Wouldn't you respect it if they killed off like the character?
Yeah,
like,
they killed
at
off
the beginning
the
of the
entire
movie.
cast.
She's diagnosed with AIDS, and then she spreads AIDS to everyone else.
Huh. That would be an interesting movie.
I'm gonna write some fan fiction.
I don't want to see the circumstances around which Anna Kendrick manages to spread AIDS to what's her name, Rebel Wilson. That's a little
Just
horrifying.
hug them, right?
What?
Just touch them. That's how you get AIDS.
No, that's not how you get AIDS. You don't touch someone and give them AIDS.
Touch them.
No.
Get it in their mouth.
No, it's not even saliva. It's gotta be blood to blood or like other like. You know this. What the fuck are we talking about? On that note, let's call it a night. On that note,
Call it an evening.
Well, for me it's night. It's like 11:30. I'm in a weird time zone, but it's also 15 minutes ahead of you. So we'll be back next week with the African Queen. I've said that now 3 times. There's no way we can forget it now.
You're an African queen.
Okay. Do you say that? Do you say that constantly while you're watching like RuPaul's Drag Race or something? Like,
you're an African queen.
Yeah, it gets to the TV. Just like...
I'm usually not watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I did watch it like a few weeks ago because I went over to one of my friend's houses and he was like watching the end of it. So I like watched it with them and I was just like asking so many questions the entire time. Also, on the 500th episode of Comedy Bang Bang, they found out Gino's rich and that's why he can fly back and forth from Long Island to LA to be an unpaid intern. And they're like, "How did you get rich?" And he's like, "From the settlement." And they're like, "How did you get a settlement?"
That was hilarious.
He's like, "The FBI." Like, I went undercover in the Catholic Church and got raped.
Oh, I was laughing hysterically with the Coinstar thing when he's like, they put a bunch of coins in your ass and spit dollars out of your mouth.
For the magic trick. That was so. Oh, that episode is so good. And then at the end, when Jason Mantzoukas is like, "Go watch The House," it's a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Jason
and then he's really funny. But then I forgot the last movie Jason Mantzoukas. Oh, the Dictator. So Scott would make fun of him all the time because of how shitty the Dictator was. So now we'll probably just start making fun of him because of how bad The House did.
You know what I still haven't finished watching yet?
What?
The League.
The ending is really good.
Yeah, I'm season. It ended with season 8, so I think I'm on like I'm the season before the end.
Yeah, Nick Kroll goes less and less on it because he's doing a lot more shit towards the end. But it's still really good.
I still think my fan theory about how The League is a prequel to Loving could stand up.
That could make sense.
Because in Loving, he's the lawyer who is against trying to ban interracial marriage. So my theory is he does something to piss off his wife in the future, and he gets sent back in time, and he's like, and she sends him back in time, so he's like, you know what, this is never going to happen again.
To pay
tries to ban interracial marriage. But yeah, I don't think I can ever take him seriously as a dramatic actor, Nick Kroll.
No, it is weird.
It would be like, I saw it on TV. I saw it as an ad for Loving when it first came out. And
I thought it was a comedy.
I did too. But like only because Nick Kroll was there.
Yeah.
Like if you cast anyone else, I would have understood that it was a drama. But the thing is, I saw Nick Kroll's face and tuned it out because I'm like, oh, it's a comedy.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was a comedy or like a fake trailer.
Right. Yeah. Like a trailer for a new show they were gonna do on like FX or something like that, or Comedy Central. But yeah, so yeah, so that's it for this week.
All right, I have to go do laundry.
Yeah, I have to eat something before I go to work tomorrow morning.
My new apartment has an in-unit washer dryer.
There you go. That's actually helpful. I don't think we ever had that when we were in Albany. No, we never had that.
The closest was that the laundry room was down the hall.
Yeah, on Liberty. That was like the best.
The best was when you put your clothes in the washing machine in our apartment.
Dryer.
And then you had to hang up all your... Yeah. Or the time when they were soaked because you put too much in. Yeah, they didn't actually wring them out. Them all in your plastic container.
Yeah,
and then closed said plastic container.
And I just didn't look at it again and threw it all out when I moved it.
Yes.
Yeah, that
was disgusting.
Yeah, it was. It didn't end up smelling bad though. It didn't like get moldy or anything.
I think it did.
Like that was like the weirdest thing that it didn't. I looked at it before I threw it out. I was like, is it worth it? Like I guess no, I would feel gross wearing it, but like there wasn't like mold on it or anything. Like it was just like it was still wet. It was just weird. Like
that is disgusting.
Yeah. Well, it was sitting. What do you want me to do? Like it was sitting in a clump in a container, like for like 2 months.
You put it. Walked it down the street.
Do you know how heavy that bucket was to bring it up to? Like, because it was all like soaked.
That was the other thing. You walking back up with it. Oh, that was amazing.
Like it was soaked through, and then I was like, I had to bring it to the bathtub. And was like wringing them out into the bathtub. Like there's so much, and it's like, and that was the cosmic revenge for me laughing when that happened to you with the blanket that time.
Yeah, that's when I ran back in, and it was like water was pouring out of it.
Yeah, and then like you were wringing it out in the tub for like a half hour. But what ended up happening with this, and I was just like, fuck it. I spent like 15 minutes doing it, and I ran out of patience.
One blanket versus probably 2 loads worth of laundry.
It wasn't 2 it was 1 load of laundry. Because I didn't lose everything.
I got in trouble in this apartment building. I got in trouble because I didn't want to pay to do more than 1 load. Uh-huh. So I literally filled the machine, like, just shoving clothes into it. And then hit go, and then it like took forever. It took like 45 minutes for a 37-minute cycle because it was so full.
It was came out wrong. Right?
Yeah, it's a brand new machine, so that's why. Oh. But now I don't have to pay for laundry anymore.
That doesn't sound right.
What?
Like, oh, I'm going to do this now. It's like, okay, well, the solution to this is either do your laundry elsewhere or pay and do the second load, not, okay, just do it for free from now on.
Yeah, no solution. Rent a one bedroom. Just move till you get laundry.
No, just do the, what's it called? Get one of those, like, washboards and just do your laundry by hand in your room.
In the bathtub. I did do that I had to, like, hand wash, and I washed them in the bathtub.
I think I have stuff that is delicate that I never actually hand wash. I just put it into like my Rangers jersey that I wear all the time. I never actually put that in the delicate cycle. I just put it in the regular wash.
Oh, at the Mariners game, we sat in the Yankees section.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought a Mariner, and then I went back, and then I went up to the concession stand and bought a Mariners hat, and then went back down in the Yankees section.
So you paid $80 just to be.
And then my dad. No, it was 24, and the Mariners. I've decided the Mariners are my my AL team.
Did the Yankees win that game or no?
They lost that game, but I think they won the other games
in
the series.
I saw the what's it called? I saw the.
They only lost the game I was at, which was nice. I saw Aaron Judge hit a home run.
Yeah, he is really humble.
He's fucking 6. He is so tall. He's 6'7".
Yeah, he's a monster. Like
it's crazy.
Did you see him in Home Run Derby? Like that was incredible. Like
no, but I saw what he did this game.
Like,
but they still lost.
I was watching the Home Run Derby. In the second round, he had to get like 10. He had 9 by the halfway point.
That's crazy.
Like
except the Mariners did have the best the fuck down moment at this game because they were up 4-2 in like or 8th, and then the Yankees were back up, and then they ended up scoring like 2 runs at the top of the inning, so they tied it all up going into the 9th inning, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, going into the bottom of the 8th, and the Yankees fans are going crazy, and like, then literally the first batter, it was like for the Mariners. There's the very first
language on the air,
but the very first batter, he hit a home run, like first pitch. It was like the best because the Yankees fans are going crazy and they're just like, nope.
I think by far the best sit the fuck down moment was when I saw Rogue One and the trailers were over and the lights dim and there's applause slowly rolling over the auditorium as the movie begins, and you can see the light changes, that way you can tell something's about to play on the screen, and then it shows a star field, and the applause slowly reaches a crescendo, and it's the little robot guy for AMC flying a lid and a straw into a Coke.
That's so funny.
And for the rest of the movie, no one applauded anything.
That's so good.
That was probably the greatest thing I have ever seen.
I probably would have cried if that was.
It's not like the guy next to me during The Force Awakens like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that. He like, I feel bad making fun of him because, like, on one hand, there's obviously, like, you're obviously not all there if you're freaking out that much over the death of Han Solo. But on the other hand, like,
maybe it was Q from Comic Book Man.
I don't think Q would have done it in the theater, though.
Did you listen to the Baron episode of Tell Him Steve Dave yet?
Yes, I love that episode.
Just the way he said, like, there's cancer cells called leukemia, called faggot cell.
I've all explained in like a half hour why he can't say that.
He's like, it's just science, it's a fact. I was laughing so loud in my office that the person next to my office came in and was like, "What are you laughing at?"
That happened to me when I was at work. When I had one of those shifts where I was there till midnight, and I was listening to the episode of Smodcast where Kevin talked about going to the doctor. And
when he was like, "Should I lift up?"
It's like
like
when I go
myself.
to like, do I like spread my asshole? And it's like, oh yeah, she just turns around and you're there bent over your asshole spread like, oh hello.
And then he wouldn't change into a gown.
Yeah.
They're like, change into this gown. He's like, no. He left all his clothes. The doctor's office I used to go to, they didn't have a full gown. They would give you like an extra piece of like sheet. And I never know what to do. I never knew what to do with it.
For me, it was weird because like I never had to do that going to the doctor, like ever. Like until like the 6th grade, I had this one like substitute doctor who was like 90, and he's like, "All right, strip down to your underwear." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like.
That's what the doctor did, and then they would give me like a sheet, and I was like, I don't know how to do this, so I just sit in my underwear and wait for them to come back.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening. And it's like I was just like, because that had never happened previously or since going to the doctor.
So like, oh, I'm gonna get raped.
Yeah, I was like, this seems like something that I was warned about all my life up until this point. But like, because it like, and then the doctor goes to my mom like, oh, he's fat. Like, yeah, like I didn't know that already. Like, I'm in 6th grade. Like, fuck that. No. Like, thanks, Doc. Like, you think I couldn't handle that news? Like, you had to go tell my mom, like...
That's really funny. She went to your mom.
Yeah, like I understand, because, like, I was young, so, like, he has to go to my mom and tell that. But, like, you couldn't tell me first, like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm gonna go tell your mom you need to lose weight. Like, just, like, a heads up. Like, that was, like, they completely caught me off guard. Like, I wasn't paying attention at all to the meeting up until that point. And it made me look like an asshole, because, like, I didn't know what was going on. But, like... fill me in on what you're gonna do next. Like, clue me in on the plan here. Like, and as you can tell, I have obviously taken that doctor's advice to heart. Which is now like 11 years later. No, yeah, 11 years later. So yeah, that like I never understood like why doctors would have you do that. Like, do you need that
Easy
much more
access.
of a? Does that give you how much more of a vantage point does that give you when you're giving like someone a physical? Like,
It is. I guess so they can just look at everything. I don't know.
But if you're giving someone a physical, like, it's like there are certain things you're gonna go. You're gonna turn your head and cough. You're gonna do like the finger up the ass for the prostate if you're old enough. No, that's not supposed to happen every time. By the way, only once you hit like 40.
Jimmy Pardo has a really good joke about that. He's just like, whenever they check my prostate, I want to make sure that everything's clean, so I make sure he uses his dick.
The best was my dad told me one time he was leaving the doctor. The guy who was in the doctor, he was in the waiting room, and there's one older guy walking out. Goes, man, that guy had really narrow fingers. To his wife. It's like, oh, I knew what he had happen. But like, those are all things that like you can do with most of your clothes mostly on. Because like, you can do that hernia
I think
check.
maybe it's for looking at your skin, like to make sure. I'm actually going to the doctor's tomorrow. I think I have a cyst on my neck.
That should be looked at. I still have that.
I think it's a sebaceous cyst, so I don't think it's. But it's on my skin. But it sits like on top of my spine, like on my neck.
Oh.
So that's why I want to probably get it removed.
I still have my my tick bite from at this point a year ago on my foot.
Probably should get that looked at.
Yeah, probably. It doesn't have the bullseye ring on it, so I'm just like living with it. Like, it's not a problem. It's just kind of there. But like it's it'll eventually become a problem. I feel like. But my thing is, you only live once, and I only have a finite amount of funds. So why waste money on a little tiny mark on my foot?
Make Walgreens pay for it. So you got bitten by a tick at Walgreens.
That wouldn't work. But yeah, so we almost managed to get my entire time working there without once mentioning where I work.
When did you say it?
Nope, I have never once said where I work.
Oh, I thought you said we almost did.
We almost got to the end of my run working there without once mentioning the name of where I work.
When?
Over the course of the show.
Then why do you keep saying almost?
Because we've never said it. and I'm not
So
going to be
did you
working
just
there
say
for too
we
much
never?
longer.
Did you saying we almost never said it makes it sound like one of us said it?
You just did.
Are we still recording?
Yes.
Wait, we've been recording this whole time?
Yes.
I thought we finished recording like 10 minutes ago.
I was waiting for you to say bye, and then I figured you didn't, so I was like, okay, I guess just want to keep going.
You should cut off this whole last section.
Yes.
This is just talking.
Well, yeah, but isn't every other podcast
I know
we listen to
you
just
should-
talking?
Yes, I don't. Or fine, you can leave this, and I don't think I
Yeah.
said anything offensive.
No, you were good. The only slurs you
I
used
just
were in
talked about
quoting
other
people.
podcasts.
Yeah, you only quoted other people using slurs. It's fine. And even so, we're usually good about that. And I dropped retard earlier, so it's not that big a deal.
This is retard today. To me.
What happened?
Speaking of, speaking of,
Do you want me to stop recording before we go on to that, or is there something that's like?
No. So I was sitting at the bus stop waiting for the bus, and it's on a hill, and there's like there's a building behind me, and they have like a wall, plants and shit. And I was sitting there, and I see my bus pulling up, and I was like, "Oh, sweet!" But then I don't have to wait that long.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, this guy like flies out of nowhere from behind me and just smashes on the ground. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm listening to a podcast, so at first I just like, maybe I just will ignore this. So I just pretend I didn't see anything. Even though he's like at my feet, but he starts like yelling about like how much pain he's in, and I'm like, I guess I should say something. So I just like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. But he's like, has like road burn on his face because he like landed on his face and slid. And apparently jumped off the like wall that was behind me and just like didn't land, I guess.
But like, why would you if you're in pain and you're speaking about how you're in pain, then when someone says, "Oh, do you need help?" No, I'm good.
Well, then my bus showed up and I was like, okay, bye, and I just like got on my bus.
When I was in Target today, a woman fell and like there was some weird bodily fluid on the floor, and like the police and
Probably shit her
ambulance
pants.
showed up. I can tell what shit is. Like if I saw shit, I would know what that is. Like
Maybe she pissed her pants.
I don't think it was piss either. It was like a weird, like almost like pus.
Maybe her water broke.
No, the police don't show up for that. And the woman was older too. It was weird. And then I left and pretended I didn't see
Maybe
anything.
she was menstruating.
It wasn't red. It was like you know that you know how it's like when you you know how pus looks when you put it into a napkin. Or is that not something you've ever had to encounter in your life?
I just lick it off like a man.
I think that's the note we should go out on.
Yes, I need to do laundry.
Yeah.
Like I said when I thought
Yes.
we were done recording.
Yeah, I need to go eat. Yeah, that was like 15 minutes ago at this point. Yeah,
You can leave all this in though. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to go eat
Okay,
something.
now goodbye.
Goodbye.
Listeners.
Goodbye.